Hey everyone, it's Jason Wood from 11 O'Clock Comics with another week of On Shelves for the week of Wednesday, November 30th. Up first, we have Nightwing, the 2022 annual. Main story is written by Tom Taylor, as usual, with art by Eduardo Pansica. And there's a pair of backup stories by Jay Kristoff and C.S. Pascott, doing the writing chores with Julio Ferreira and Inaki Miranda on the backup art. This book's going to set you back $5.99 because it is an oversized annual, and the main draw is we are going to finally learn the origin story of the ongoing villain of the series, Heartless. We're going to keep the DC Comics train rolling this week with Justice Society of America #1, written by Jeff Johns with art by Mikel Janin. Little backstory for me. John's original run on the JSA was one of my gateways into being a diehard DC Comics fan after being a Marvel Comics zombie for much of my childhood. It's great seeing John's back doing regular work at DC, and this is a set of characters that he loves, and we've seen him write amazing stories with before. And Janine is a classic superhero artist. We've seen him do just about every major DC character over the last bunch of years, and he's a perfect fit for a reboot of a series I hope goes on for a long time. What if our founding fathers lived on as vampires and were machinating behind the scenes to help shape society? If that sounds incredible, well, you have a chance to read that in Killadelphia, the Fantastic Image series. We get issue number 25 this week, written as always by Rodney Barnes, with art by Jason Sean Alexander, although this month we get finishes by another artist named Herman Aramuspe. This is the start of a new arc of the series, which brings about a crescendo in the battle for humanity as the world faces possible extinction, and it all happens in the city of brotherly love. For our final two picks of the week, we head over to the House of Ideas. Up first, Captain America, Symbol of Truth, #7, written by Toki Onyebuchi. This month's issue drawn by Ig Guerra. As you can see from the cover, this is a Sam Wilson-centric book. And if you're wondering who that other character is, I believe it is the new, quote-unquote, new Nomad. For those of you that read Rick Remender's run on Captain America, you no doubt know a bit about this character, including the fact that he is actually a very famous Marvel hero's son, but I'll leave it to you to find out in the pages. And last, but certainly not least, have to give a shout out to our good buddy Scotty Young's book, Strange Academy Finals #2. As always, drawn by Humberto Ramos. This continues what I believe to be the final arc of this interesting cast of teenage magic wielders who were brought together by Stephen Strange and Brother Voodoo to hone their craft and ready themselves to protect the Marvel Multiverse from ne'er-do-wells. This book has been a lot of fun, and David and I spent quite a bit of time diving deep onto the series to date, an episode or two back on the main podcast. But we get issue number 2 of, I believe, a 6-issue final arc this month. And that'll do it for this week's On Shelves. As always, be sure to check out 11o'clockcomics.com or patreon.com/11o'clockcomics, where you can find a wealth of interesting conversation about comics and comic culture. And, of course, if you've got some time on your hands and want to really deep dive, make sure to give our flagship podcast a listen, found in all podcatchers everywhere. We are fast approaching our 900th episode, and this week we'll be doing a Book of the Month dive on Dan Clow's Pussy. So get ready for that. In the meantime, I will be back in a few days with the best thing I read this week.